In today's episode, we're going to start looking at the basic process we've made in the asset loading, and then we will talk about how we're going to move forward. My name is Emil, you're watching Myber, and I hope you enjoy. So to start off with, last episode we made the virtual file system, like you can see over here, and now we need to start loading assets. And I had a few issues in the past, especially when it came to cube maps and things that fit into my little pattern of a single file for a single resource. The same goes for materials, right? So, each material has its own folder. And this is what this class represents. And if you look at the asset loader, that is what it takes as a argument, right? And by having multiple files and a type and so on, we can properly load things. And for now, I just have a basic texture loader loading in the RGB pixels and these are just kind of plotted out for now. And then in the core, I have the Apogee engine setup running here, but I have a bunch of you run into a chicken and egg problem when trying to load an asset without having all the other stuff. So I just made this TMP folder, and everything in here I'm just going to delete when I get around to making that. So I just don't have the dependency of a chicken and egg problem. And let me check if this will render, and it won't. So let me just fix that. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, there you go. You should be able to see it now. I'll make it a bit bigger. Sure. And that's what you're looking at. So it's just a texture being drawn on a quad, so I can make sure the texture code is working properly. And so essentially what we're doing here is we have an asset loader, which will load an asset, and then we have an asset itself. And the basic texture has a texture ID for it to be able to be applied or binded, a width and a height, and then I need to make I disposable at some point so it can be disposed properly. And then we have its loader, which will load the image from the stream and then proceed to load the pixels in and do all the OpenGL calls. And if we look in, there we go. In here, see, I'm just loading it like that. Now, what I need to do next is I need to implement all of these, and I need to move forward and figure out how I'm going to go about hooking it into the virtual file system. And this is where we kind of sit at an interesting crossroad. Where do we go about this by making a standalone asset pipeline, if you want to call it that? Or do we make a kind of editor, like an in-game editor or a standalone editor, where you would then go about, loading up these assets and processing them there? So I would like to hear your guys' feedback on what you think the best approach to go about this would be. And I'm not quite sure. So what I need to do next is to implement all of these and then to hook it into the virtual file system. I thought I might just show you the simple loading of the assets first before I introduce it into the virtual file system and make one big cluttered video. I think that's all I have for this episode, yeah? We just have a bunch of temporary code. That kind of made some time. If you want to see how that works, go look at episode 2 of the Myver edit videos. That's where that comes from. I just copy and paste it from there. And then I'm just using a very simple shader, as you can see over here. It's really simple. And so I just wanted to make this simple video to kind of not be overwhelmed in the next episode, because that's going to get a little bit crazy. And so thanks for watching, and please do subscribe if you enjoyed, and leave a comment. Like I said, I would really like your guys' feedback on whether to make an external tool or to just kind of have it built in. And leave a like if you enjoyed. Bye bye.